Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about data types in C. So in the previous lecture, we had seen what is a variable and how we are going to declare variable, initialize them, and also how we are going to assign values for the variables. Okay. So before knowing variables, you should also know what is the data type. And that is so unless if you are trying to write a program for some particular problem, you should know what is the input value that you need to take for that particular problem, right? So in order to know that one and to make our system understand, we need these data types. So we'll see data types in a clear way in this lecture. Okay. So first, what is the data type? In the previous lecture, I had also shown you regarding the uh, like what is int, what does the int values show, what does the float values show, right? So yeah, here comes data types in C refer to an extensive system used for declaring variables or functions or different types. The type of variable determines how much space it occupies in storage and how the bit pattern stored is interpreted. So unless and until I will tell that I want addition of two integer values, you don't know, if you don't know the what is the input that you're going to give for the program, how the system is going to decide and how it is going to allocate the memory for the variables which you are creating, right? So now we'll see what are the different types of data types. So you can see here the types in C. The types, see, I was using data types and types, both are similar words. So alternatively, sometimes I was using types and sometimes it is data types. So don't get confused, both data types and types is same word. Okay. So here the data types in the C is can be classified as follows. First one is the basic, second one is enumerated, third is type void, and fourth is your derived types. So the basic data types will be known for you uh, in today's lecture actually. So without the basic data types, you're not going to know what is that enumerated data type and derived types. So that type is type void is very simple. That simply will be telling that uh, situations. What are the situations that you are going to use that type void? Okay. So first we'll see what are all the types of data types, and in the upcoming videos you will be coming to know different types and where you are using, how you are using them will be coming in your upcoming lectures. Okay. Yeah. So yes, so types as well as the description I had given here. So what is the first one? The basic types. So what are the basic types of data types? They are the arithmetic types and are further classified into integer types, floating point types. So in the previous lecture, I had said integer variables, floating point variables, character variables, and double I hadn't shown you, I think so. Double floating point values will also be there. So all those types of data types will be coming in your basic types. And then the second one is enumerated types. They are again arithmetic types and they are used to define variables that can only assign certain discrete integer values throughout the program. So these enumerated data types are nothing but the data types which you will create on your own. Okay. So, and then the type void. So the type specifier void indicates that no value is available. Okay. And then derived type, they include pointers, array types, structures, union types, and the function types. So these are the four types of your data types. So for time being, you just concentrate mostly on the basic data types. That is basic one, integers, character, float, double floating point values, and that third one is also very simple, that you'll be able to tell that it is not going to return any value, and the situations where you are using the void you need to remember, right? And derived types and enumerated types, these we will discuss in detail in the further upcoming lectures. Okay. Yes. So first, integer types. So in this table, you are going to see different integer values, what is its storage size, and what is the value range. And even char also I had included here. Okay. The following table provides the details of the standard integer types, that is your basic types, with their storage sizes and value range. So you can remember this in a very easy way. Okay. So first one, character. Character is always 1 byte. You should remember that you are going to assign only one character for the data type char. Okay. And its value is -128 to 127 or 0 to 255. Okay. For unsigned character, 1 byte, same storage size for characters always it will be 1 byte only. Okay. And the value is 0 to 255. Unsigned means you are not going to provide any positive or negative value. So that is the reason you had moved to 0 to 255. Okay. And signed char is 1 byte again as usual. When you are trying to give some negative values, then you will use -128 to +127. Why you are not considering 128 to 128 is in middle, you will have the 0. Right? So that is the reason you will deduct one value in the uppermost value. Okay. And yes, so char, unsigned char, signed char. So all those storage sizes 1 byte. Okay. So you need to remember always that when you are declaring a variable with char some a is equals to, in double quotes or in single quotes, a, if I give, only 1 byte of memory will be allocated for that particular variable a. Okay. And then next coming to your int. So int is 2 or 4 bytes. Actually, in the previous versions of your system, you would have only 2 bytes, but in the updated and latest systems, you are having the 4 bytes of memory. And this was your size actually, -32762 +32767. Or if it is some unsigned or signed values, then you will move on to -2147483, 648 to 2147483, 647. Clear? So char 1 byte, integer 2 or 4. Okay. And then next comes your in integer. Again, you are having unsigned, short int, long unsigned, unsigned short. Right? So for all of them, maximum you will be moving with 2 or 4. Right? For short, you can remember like 2, and for long, you can go for 4. Okay. Right. So unsigned integer, you will be having 2 or 4. So its range is 0 to 65535 or 0 to 4294967 295. And for short, you are going with 2 bytes, that is -327682 +32767. And for unsigned short, again it is 2 bytes, that is from 0 to 65535. Okay. And then coming to long, 8 bytes or 4 bytes for 32-bit OS. So that's what I was telling. So only for the integer, it was being updated. That is, I think you know, operating systems are of 2 types. 32-bit operating systems are there, 64-bit operating systems are there. Okay. So depending on the type of operating system, for integer values will be assigned. Right. So this value is for your long integers. And again, in long unsigned integers also the same value. Variable doesn't have any of the negative values, all are positive values only. Right? So those are basic integer data type values. And next, coming to your float. So float is already, you know, that you will have the decimal values. So float, first one is 4 bytes. For double you will have 8 bytes, and for long double you will have 10 bytes. Okay. What is this float, double float, and long double is? So if I write something like 2 point, after point, if I had some 6 digits, then it will become float. If I have some 15 to 10 or above 6, all you will be considered as double float. Above 15, all you will consider as a long double values, right? And these are your storage values, and these are your value ranges. And the last column is precision table. That is, if I write 10.00006, it is of 6 decimal places, right? So these are the floating point values. Okay. And then next comes your void type. So you had seen character, integers, and float. In float, you're having double and long float. Okay. In integer, you'll have signed integer, unsigned integer. And in character, you will have normal char value. Okay. Unsigned char, signed char. And then next comes the void type. The void type specifies that no value is available. And this void type is generally used in 3 different situations. First one is function returns as void. There are various functions in C which do not return any value, or you can say that they return void. See, I had performed some addition, but I'm not going to return any value for that. I mean, value for the user. So that time you can tell it as a void function. Okay. And the function with no return type has the return type as void. So if I write addition function, so for time being, you just remember that function is piece of code which performs particular task, right? So generally, if any function is not going to return any value, then also you'll be using the keyword void. So this was one of the example, void exit int status. Okay, so that is nothing but your void exit. So this is exit is a function. It is not going to return any value. So I had used this keyword void, and it is taking some value as input of data type int and then semicolon. So this is nothing but your function declaration. Okay, so this is regarding your void type. And then next comes function arguments as void. When you don't want it to give any parameters for the function, then also you can use the keyword void. So that's the there are various functions in C which do not accept any parameters. So a function with no parameters can accept the keyword void. So for example, int rand void. So that rand method, it is returning some integer value. So this is your return type. This is your function name. And these are nothing but your parameters. So it is not going to take any parameters. So I had given the keyword as void, and semicolon indicates that this is the declaration. And next comes to pointers to void. Yes, you can also give void to pointer, that is a pointer to a type void. So here the pointer represents the address of an object, but it is not a type. For example, if a memory location function void malloc size t returns a pointer to void which can be casted into any data type. That is, here you are trying to find out the memory allocated for some particular structure, or for an, especially these are used in your files concepts in order to know the memory, right? So at that time you will be using pointers to void. So this malloc is not going to return any value, right? Simply so that is the reason we are using pointers to void. So I think this data types is clear for everyone. And as I said, enumerated data types and the another one, derived data types, will have a keen look into that in the upcoming videos. Okay, that's all for the lecture regarding data types. Thank you everyone.